Hello there. In this session, we're going to enable and configure parental control in ESET Smart Security. I'm going to double click the icon in the bottom right hand corner, which will open the application. We click on Setup, Security Tools, and Enable Parental Control if it's not already done so. It's going to ask me for authentication. Click on Yes. Within a few seconds, parental control is switched on, but it does require some settings. It's going to ask me to protect all settings with a password, and I would need to confirm or enter and confirm the new password. Obviously, if we're going to put protections in place, we need to make sure they're password protected, or they will just be switched off. We're going to choose which item we're going to protect. So in this case, it's our computer here. We're going to enable parental control. We're going to enter the birth date of the child using this account. And it's going to ask us for our password. Once this is done, this is now configured to block any content on here which we don't wish to be seen. If we have a look at the content that we're going to block or add more content, we can do so by clicking the block content and settings. We can have a look at some options here under the user account. So we can see that it's enabled. We can see the parent account, child's birth date, if we put that information in there, and how much of that information we're going to log. If there's some exceptions that we want to be adding here, we could add a web page which would allow access to certain websites, in which case they would be overruled if they were normally blocked. We can also do sections here by categories where we can choose to enable or disable certain categories. As you can see, there are some age associated with these categories. And it's a simple case of choosing whether we want to enable access to these categories. So if we chose that we didn't want to enable access to finance, we could just untick this one. If we chose that we wanted to enable, in particular, an item, then we have an age that we would suggest, which is 12 plus. We could tick the item and it would then be enabled. If I choose an OK, we would just need to authenticate. And that is now valid. Parental control is switched on for this account and enabled for ongoing use. We can also see any logs if we want to see any of the websites that were matched when browsing on this particular computer with parental control enabled. We can add a quick exception here if we require by clicking the Add an Exception for a website.